This is JD from The Voice Party. This week's episode is brought to you by All Roads Overhead Garage Doors. Call now, 510-375-8756. Proudly serving the Bay Area since 2002. Also, hablamos español. That means they speak Spanish. Free consultations. If you got old garage doors on your haunted garage, you got some important stuff you need to protect, or maybe you live in your garage because this is the Bay Area, you got a whole family living in there, give us a call. All Roads Overhead Garage Doors. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Joaquin Xavier, and you are currently listening to The Voice Party.
That's the fanciest way.
That was super sexy.
That was sexy, dude.
That
nice.
was legit.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So we got Phil Spooner with fucking around with his toy.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
How's it going? Taking pictures of our guest.
Hello.
So introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Viviana, and I'm from El Garage.
El Garage. So, or we just ate Taco Bell. But
What'd you guys get?
Man.
I got 3 tacos supreme and a chalupa.
Wow. You know, I had never gotten Taco Bell. Maybe it was like 2 years ago, and I had never had Taco Bell in
Really?
my life. Yeah. My sisters always, they love it. But then me, I was just kind of like never, I love it.
now you love it.
Yeah, now
I don't see why all
now
the
I
hate.
just like the I love the tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I've always loved it. I remember, like, as a kid, the first time I had a burrito, because, you know, we don't have burritos at the house and
Yeah,
shit. Like,
yeah.
the first time I ever had a burrito, I was, like, blown away. Like, dude, why aren't we doing this at the house?
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
know, so easy.
Yeah. Speaking of tacos,
Speaking of tacos.
yeah, dude, I remember, how long have you guys, I remember the first time I saw a post about your garage taco stand.
Yeah. I think.
When was that? Last year?
No, this was this year. So we started this year.
Damn.
I think when you went was in March, which was when we were just kind of starting.
Okay.
Because I think the post that you saw was the original post of, hey, we're like the first tacos, the first day that we started selling.
Yeah.
And yeah, ever since then, it's just been
Booming.
growing. It's just been growing every weekend.
You still doing it every weekend at the house, or did you stop? No.
So there's been all these people that have been calling the city and health department on us.
Oh yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
doing like pop-ups. We were doing pop-ups in breweries as well, and we had like already set dates.
Mm-hmm.
But all the pop-ups that we had to make, like already scheduled during December, November, once our article was put out there for Eater SF, all those places called us back because they got multiple people calling the city and the health department to shut us down.
Oh damn.
So people are not trying
Haters.
to let us sell. Yes, exactly.
So all the other taco business in the area, like, you know what? Fuck them. Like, let's call the feds on them.
Yeah.
The Taco Bell is behind it all.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yum Brands Inc. is the name of the parent company. So they're just like, we got to get all the competition.
yeah, dude,
We gotta
because
get 'em.
that style of taco is popular as right now, right?
So popular.
What happened?
Like it blew up here.
Yeah, it
too.
blew up
It's
here.
crazy. Like
How did you? Is that something you guys did like a lot? Because we didn't have that kind of tacos at the house.
No.
Oh, okay,
no,
okay.
we never had those kind of tacos at the house. I guess before, so in December, before December, we were actually selling tortas.
Oh yeah.
But the weather was ugly, rainy, so we had to stop. And so my sister stopped because my sister's the one that was cooking the tortas. So she stopped, and again in like February, she was like, I want to start selling again, but let's think of something we can sell. So she saw these like super good looking tacos in LA that they dipped in the consomme, and she was like, you know what? My mom makes some bomb birria. Let's try and see if maybe we can come up with something. So without us knowing how to do it, we just kind of tried, trial and error. So we kind of got something that was probably similar to what it's supposed to taste like, and it just became the thing. Yeah.
So what is, for our listeners at home who may not know, what is birria? Excuse my mispronunciation.
What is birria? I think
It's a
birria is a
stew.
very traditional, like, stewed
It's usually
beef,
goat,
but it's goat. Yeah.
but we do it with beef out here in the in the States. Well, I mean, not here. It's usually beef. It's a party dish. It's not something you'll find well made in most restaurants, in my opinion, right?
I definitely agree.
Yeah, it's like something you gotta go to like a fucking party or the holidays at a Mexican family's house.
Like a Mexican family house, yeah.
Yeah, where everybody speaks Spanish, no English, like straight up, dog. Like for the most, I mean, that's just and it's I think it's just getting popular because of those tacos, because they usually it's a carne asada, the asada steak, that's the typical.
That's my go-to.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm not, but this is a different style and it's booming right now. And
I think because, again, how he said, you don't find it in many places.
No.
So you're going to taste it. If you were to get it at a restaurant, you taste it and probably like, I wouldn't get this again.
Yeah.
And then, but when
shredded beef, they call it shredded beef, and it just makes it doesn't sound.
It just doesn't sound good. But when you actually have somebody that knows how to make it, because there's a lot of but you have to go to a house, just like he was saying, you have to go to a house and eat it from like somebody making it. At first we thought, okay, the amount of food is going to get different with how much you make, but that was something that we had to adjust as well. First, we started off with 6 pounds the first day, and we sold out. And now we're up to 425 pounds a day.
Lord have mercy.
Well,
yeah.
The day you guys set up at Armistice,
Armistice.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Armistice.
It's the day that we went to go do the Joker review. Remember, I was there a little bit late.
Yeah.
So that day I showed up. I messaged her. I was gonna go support, and then I had like 10 minutes to get food before I went to go meet these guys because we were gonna do a film review.
Yeah.
And then I showed up, and the line was like all the way down the street, bro. Like, it was a lot. I remember I told you that, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna go watch the Joker on an empty stomach. Let me just go and say hi so she knows I came to support.
Yes, I remember when you went.
Because you guys blew up like literally when you started. What you said?
Like late February.
And now I just saw that SF Eater gave you guys a
pop-up award for pop-up of the year.
Damn.
Stuff that we
That's huge.
we feel so it's huge. We feel so honored because we also were in the running with so many people that have like that knew about this. And to be sincere, we didn't know about like SF Eater or the awards, but it feels so nice for people to recommend us, because it's all word of mouth. It's all people that are showing support, and to get that kind of award is huge for us. It's like amazing.
So you guys didn't go out of your way to go and like, hey, nominate us. They just came.
No, they just came to. Yeah, they came to us, and that's how it's been all happening. We have all these like people that are coming to interview us. There should be something soon coming out in the SF Chronicle.
What?
Yeah. So it's like it's crazy, and it's been amazing. So yeah.
So now you are you guys gonna quit all your like full-time jobs to dedicate? I mean, because that's just changing your life.
Yeah. Well, we have no jobs.
Oh.
So we have no jobs.
Okay.
We had to quit because it's so much prep during the week. It's crazy with birria. So birria has chiles, has peppers, and you have to clean them each one by one by hand because all the seeds, you can't have those in the food. So we're doing before, when we were doing like 250, it was about 2,500 chiles that we had to hand clean, and now it's like twice that. So it's just like so much more that during the week, that's basically our like not our job, but it is like a part-time. And then the next thing that I'm doing is like social media while I'm talking to all these people. So I don't think it would be possible for me to have a job and do this as well,
because it's your business,
because it's the business. It was a thing of like, I think that's where you really define like, am I really gonna go all in, or am I just gonna kind of just play it? Me and my sister were working. We were working at the same coffee shop, and we were like, hey, you know what? We can't do this anymore. We're so tired. Like, I was doing school, work, and El Garage, but El Garage was kicking our butt, And so I was like, whatever, let's just do it and let's see if it grows, And once me and my sister quit our jobs, it just kind of, we put more time into it, and it blew up. And that's exactly what I was hoping for,
Blew up fast.
Crazy fast.
That's impressive, and that kind of like testament to if you really just go for it all the way, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, because I think that this experience has showed us, and also I see that other people, after I've talked to them, like, you know, for me, not to go into the spiritual stuff, but for me, I believe in manifesting. Like, you know what, if I put my heart into this, I'm gonna get it done, you know? Like, I know I can get it done, and that's how it's been going, you know? Like, we're just set a goal and try to get it done, and there's been many obstacles, but I think you shouldn't let any obstacles for anyone, you know, let you bring them down. We had people like, we were going to buy a food truck. This guy tried to scam us. He tried to take all our money, and it was just crazy. And so then he was the first one that called the department. So that's when we had to stop doing the driveway. That's when we had to stop selling in the driveway. Yeah. But each step, we've just been going, it's just been getting better, you know? With each downfall, it's been getting better. Yeah.
So he called, he was trying to sell you the truck, and then he scammed you?
So he was trying to sell us a truck. I found it on Craigslist. What's crazy is when we first started, we said, hey, hopefully by next year, we're able to have enough people, enough customers or something that we can get a little food truck. That was our goal for 2020, right? Maybe middle of 2020, have enough money to buy a little food truck. But then it's just like people just kept coming and coming each weekend, that it was just it was so intense for us to make more food, work more during the week, but then also try to figure out business stuff that I never knew about business. I never knew what permits to get, you know, all this stuff, that it was just, but then when it started blowing up, people were always messaging us like, why aren't you selling, or where are you going to be at? But it's kind of difficult when you don't have the resources or honestly the capital, you know, like the money to you know, get, because that's what's missing, the money to get all these things, you know.
It's funny that you say that,
investors and the bank loans come in.
And you know, just I wanted to share this with you. When I reposted, I think I did a post for you guys early on, like the El Garage page. This friend of mine, she messaged me. I guess she thought I was selling them. She said, I need 2 dozens, I'll pick them up at 3. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I'm not selling it. And I was like, talk to them. So I can imagine, like, as far as demand goes, what you're seeing on your end, like on the page. So you now that you're seeing more of the business side of it, like, is it, what do you, well, I wanted to say this more towards the end, but you're still just setting up at a pop-up right now, like a pop-up booth right now?
Not anymore.
So
we stopped a while back.
Okay.
We stopped maybe about a month and a half ago. And we are trying to get some more pop-ups, but we're trying to see if we can do it within the kitchen that we got for the restaurant right now, to get a day permit to go and do some pop-ups before we, you know, to keep the momentum going before we get our restaurant. So the restaurant, we already have it. It's amazing. We have huge plans for it.
You already got the location?
Yeah, so we already signed the lease.
Or if you don't want to disclose that, or
yeah, I can.
Oh, okay.
So everybody, we're hopefully we're gonna have a ribbon cutting when we with the city, a gold ribbon cutting.
Nice.
I have to contact some people that because of all the people that support us, they've been contacting people and just putting me in contact with everyone, so it's been amazing. But we are going to be in front of BART. Richmond BART.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And I know that there's that new business hub over
right
at
in
Richmond
front.
BART.
Yes, we're gonna be right in front of that business hub.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Great.
Yes.
You know what would go great with those tacos?
Beer.
A good comedy show.
Oh, I said beer.
beer, yeah.
No,
Beer
you know
too.
what? Yeah, no. I want stuff. The place is huge. The place is 5,000 square feet.
Just high five.
So it is huge. We have huge plans coming for it. Right now, we want to go small. You know, we want to be smaller
for sure.
because yes. You know when the business loans come in and everything, but because we're not an official business, it's so difficult as well, because we can't show like, oh, we've been in business for this long, because it was never official. So
cash sales kind of a thing.
So we just have to look up like maybe community lenders, like business lenders. There's so many that help the community, you know, so that's where we're looking in at. But as far as the space, we're super excited. It took a long while to get it, but we finally got it, and hopefully by maybe next month.
You know what you should send those lenders? A plate of tacos. Like, Doug, this is what I'm gonna be selling.
Yep.
Send the check.
I know.
It seems like you guys are doing so well on social media and on your own. But if you need a commercial done by a couple of excellent video professionals, Phil and I offer video making services.
They make things look pretty.
Award-winning films from the folks at ILP Video. We make things look pretty. Thank you.
We also produce this podcast.
Yeah.
That's why we brought you in here. We wanted to pitch film stuff, and I wanted to pitch a comedy show to you.
No, it's mainly to promote you and have an interesting guest on the show.
We're just kidding.
No. But you know what? Once you said, "Oh, he makes cool videos," I just already, because we have all this. I had already this like video in my head of like a pop up and just kind of throwing out the commercial, like, here we are, we're gonna open, and just like a super cool video. That'd be awesome to team up or do something.
When I first saw the line at that Armistice, I was like, God damn, like that was huge. Like, it went from the Armistice where the brewery is at, the little tent, all the way to the lights.
Yeah.
You must have been tired as hell that day.
It's every day.
Yeah.
I remember telling somebody, "Oh, I can't text you back because it's busy. It's always busy. I can't text anybody back during the day because it's always busy." And my friends were like, "No, it's not." And I'm like, "Yeah, come help me out one day." So my friend came and helped me out one day. Since we start, 30 or 40 minutes before we start, we already have a people of like 35, like a 35 people long line. After that, it probably doesn't stop till like 6 hours after that, because the line is it just never ends. It just never ends. And then I think the most people that we got, because you saw an Armistice, I think the most people that we've gotten is probably in SF at Laughing Monk Brewery.
Oh, wow.
That day we probably saw almost about 750 people, if not more.
Lord.
The lines were crazy long around the streets of SF, so it's been great, and it is really tiring, but it's fun. It's really fun.
There are some restaurants that would be lucky to have that much in a week, let alone one day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, I wanted to tell you this because I told you when I saw you outside. Like, I remember, what was it? Like 5 years ago, I went to your house to install internet when I was working at Comcast. Remember that?
Yeah.
That day we discovered we're cousins.
Yes.
We're family. We're related.
Yeah.
We come from the same town, or our families come from the same town in Mexico. And I remember you were working at the bank at the time or something. Yeah. And then I saw you right now. I haven't seen you in a while. And like, you look healthier.
Yeah.
And you look happier.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to talk about that, because like, now you're doing something that you actually like. And
And you know what? That's a great topic, because that's something that I was talking to my boyfriend about. I was just like, you know what? Like, this, I think once you stop doing what you're not happy doing, you're just kind of, I change stuff a lot. So I'm always doing something different. I don't ever keep one job. After I quit my bank job, that was a long job that I had for a couple of years. I just have been doing one thing or another. And I think that for me, it's always like, okay, what do I want to do now? And I just do it, like El Garage has made me has opened up so many opportunities for me. My thing is art. I love art, and artistically it's also like opened the doors for me, because for me, El Garage was my baby, I don't do food, but I love giving people a certain experience. Once you go into a garage, you have an experience. You see the salsas, you might hear the music, you might see the people, and you see the people sitting down, but it didn't all just happen. It was something that I really worked on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have this specific music, I'm gonna have these songs, I'm gonna have this look, these are gonna be the things where people get their food out of. I love all that, so for me it's so fun. For me it's so fun coming in, like people coming in and they're like, oh yeah, I like that, and I'm like, yes, I wanted them to like it. So for me I think that's been a gateway for me to also find different paths that I have, not to just stay in one thing.
Right.
And that's also just kind of like, just goes to show, honestly, because a lot of people reach out and they're like, how'd you do it? But it just goes to show that when you really want something, you can make it happen, you know, whatever it is. Because I remember when we wanted to sell from our driveway, we didn't, people were like, why are you going to sell from your driveway? Like, who sells from their driveway? Who's going to go to your house and buy food? Well,
Just
here we
wait.
are.
Just wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, if you still sold at your house, that'd be horrible.
I think that'd be horrible. Oh my gosh, when we were selling at my house, we had the cops there 24/7.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
24/7. So first, we got like 20 cops come in one day. 20, like a group of 20 it was like 10 and then maybe 5, because you know the line takes like an hour to get to the front of the line.
They went to eat.
They went to
okay.
We thought they were coming because they came in and we're like, oh fuck,
They're gonna ask you about
they're here
permits
to
and everything
shut us
else.
down.
Huh?
Yeah. And then they're like, do we have to get in line? I was like, yeah. And they're like, okay. Well, they got in line and there was like 10 of them. Then like later, like 5 minutes or so, come another like 10 cops and they're like, yeah, we got recommended by them because they said it already smells good. They kept coming, but then they didn't shut it. I feel like they probably were like, they're cool, you know, we're not gonna shut them down. We already had their tacos, but they kept coming and telling us to put parking signs just because parking was getting crazy. They were shutting down the streets, all these customers, you know, because there's no parking in Richmond anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so now like
Especially near Discolandia.
Near 23rd Street.
Yeah, 23rd Street.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, they're Richmond cops, so they have more to worry about than whether or not you have your permit.
Yeah.
There's a body
Are
like
you-
5 blocks down.
Exactly.
They're like, we just got done with a murder case. We're just hungry, man. We're not even. I don't even feel like filling out paperwork.
We just came to make sure you guys aren't killing anyone. You're not killing. Cool.
Let me get some taco.
I'll take 4. Yeah.
No, this guy.
Maybe give Officer Friendly a little bit of extra salsa so he doesn't.
I know. They're over there, you know, taking pictures with us. And I'm like, just smile at the camera, mom. Just smile at the camera.
Yeah. This is evidence. So you got your whole family involved in it?
All of us.
All of
us. Yeah. So it's
It changed your whole family's life too.
changed all of our life, honestly. And it, you know, also something that's crazy is just like, wow, we've become so much closer, you know.
Yeah.
When it comes to bonds with family, you know, that's kind of like, you know, every family has their different bonds, but for us it was just definitely a thing of like, we were all working so much, you know, we were working so much. I was doing like school and work. My sister was also had I believe 2 jobs at the time. My mom was working and my dad was working, and we were all doing full time. And I think once we worked on El Garage, it just became everybody was putting their all into it, and we just became closer as a family as well. And already have I think the thing that sparked this was just like, we have bigger visions now, you know. Something that that makes me happy, seeing my parents, you know, coming from Mexico to now over here being like thinking of huge things that they would have never even probably thought about before we opened El Garage, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and El Garage has just given us so many opportunities and so many like opportunities of growth that it's just awesome. Also because of the support in the community. That's why it is. And then also goes to show that if the community supports its community, people can do great stuff, you know. Because if we wouldn't had the community support, or for instance like you who wouldn't have gone, or other people that would have gone that know me or that just shared that, you know, it wouldn't have been what it is. You know, people are sharing and they're supporting, and that is just like a great thing. Because sometimes we see stuff and, you know, that's when we need to support local businesses. Like for me, that's what I see. I'm like, wow, I appreciate all of these people, because people are like, hey, we really support you guys. Hey, my mom loves your tacos. Like they give us these comments that are not necessary, but they go out of their way to let us know how they feel about us in a nice way, you know. And it's just, I think that's really cool. And El Garage is also a big project of what we've been working on and our hard work, but also the community, you know. It's a space for the community. The community is so supportive and so diverse. It's not just Latinos, you know, it's just like everybody coming together, and it's amazing. And that's the kind of also experience that I want to create in El Garage, the actual like brick and mortar. That's going to be experienced. Music blasting, all types of people, different kinds of food, but good Mexican street food, because there's gonna be different. There's gonna be different like plates. I mean, not we're gonna keep the menu simple because already by itself we sell one kind of taco and it's crazy busy. So we're only planning on putting. We're gonna put in maybe just a couple more menu items because also if not we just wouldn't be able to do it just because it's crazy busy with just one taco. Yeah. And then we're thinking of doing specials. And definitely something for me that I used to work at Armistice at the brewery.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In Richmond. And I always thought, wow, I would love a brewery for like the rest of the community, you know, like where everybody could go and feel kind of comfortable because you didn't see much of the crowd. You know, you saw the people from the marina, but not the people from past the marina in the actual Richmond. It's all like... That's
what I feel when I go to the breweries.
Yeah. It's just kind of like...
We're not there,
you know? And so I was always like, oh, I wish I had a brewery, but also how much money does that take, you know?
Right. Alcohol is...
Yeah. But then I'm just like, you know what? Like... I was like, maybe in the future sometime. But then by what I mean by El Garage opened so many doors is now that it opened up that door that I could probably post up a tap room, you know, at El Garage. And because it's so big, we're thinking of eventually doing that because it'd be awesome. Like having a place that we can actually go to in the community, you know, that people from Richmond can go to and have a fun time. Yeah. Like it's huge that I want to make it. This is the first time I'm telling my ideas to anyone. So I want to make it like big. Like this is going to be a place where I also want people to have a place to go to Saturday, Friday nights, you know, go and possibly dance too, you know, dance.
Con boteceta.
I know. Yeah. Have all the people from the community, you know, like I am into art. I want to have art shows, art events at the place, you know, like you said, a comedy show. Why not? You know, like have stuff where people can just go all the time and have a good place to go to. Within time, have a good night, you know, within time, possibly maybe we can have the beer stuff, you know, that's within time because it's so busy. But I mean, hopefully by the middle of this next year, 2020, we can have the beer stuff. And that would even just like make it fun, or a place where people can go have a beer and chill, but a place where also your dad can go. Yeah. Your uncle can go, you know, not just young people, but family oriented, something kind of like modern, young, but sophisticated, where you can go chill out, but you can also take somebody on a date, you know?
Yeah, nice friendly atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if the food is as good as your story paints it to be, I mean, everything you want is going to happen.
Yeah.
As long as there's good food, you could do whatever, because people like, people will come, man.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen those tacos, not yours specifically, but the kind of tacos you're talking about posted up on social media. And I'm going, oh, man, they look really good. And I haven't had opportunity or time to go try one, but I kid you not, I think your place, I'm going to, how long did you say it's going to be until it opens up in Richmond?
Till it opens up in Richmond, probably by the end of January.
So that'll probably be where I get my first taco of this particular
voice party review.
Yes.
Voice party review.
Yes. Has to happen now.
Yep.
We gotta launch this episode like the week you're opening up, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like you said, the community, like I mean the reason I kind of started this was just to highlight whatever's going on in, well, mostly Richmond, but you know, just to put it out there, because like I started the shows that I do because I mean I didn't see any like comedy. I go to the comedy clubs to see shows everywhere else, like, you know, the city, San Ho, and it's dope, it's awesome, and it's like I want something like that here, you know, like you said with the breweries that are here, they're far away, and it doesn't feel
it doesn't feel like it includes the community, you know, like I feel like, if I'm totally honest, that's how I feel like it feels. You know, I've invited friends or my parents, you know, to like, I always invite my parents like, hey, you know, let's go to this brewery, but they always don't feel welcome, you know, that's what they say. And so also El Garage gives that experience to also parents, you know, because I see people coming over here and they're like, oh, my mom's over here saying if you got beer, you know, and I think that because they already feel comfortable, all those people are as well gonna go. And it's true, like what you're saying. Why do we have to go to a place that's not, like, why can't there be that in our community, you know?
When there's, like, because it's close and there's a lot of stuff happening here. Like you
Yeah.
could find, you know, like we just mentioned our friend's band.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
like they go play everywhere. They
Exactly.
do a show here. We're actually
Like, why can't there be any shows, you know, like
Yeah.
here, or like a venue spot or something? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, I'm speaking on my experience, whatever. The
Yeah.
people I know, like these guys, they're all from Richmond guys.
Oh, you two are from Richmond as well.
Born in Oakland, raised in Richmond, so you know I'm pretty gangster.
I was born in LA.
Okay.
I ping ponged between Pittsburgh and El Cerrito.
Okay.
Grew up in Arkansas and then came back out here. And it's funny. I've never lived in Richmond, but most of my friends my own age were living in Richmond. I went to school in Richmond. I work in Richmond. I think I'm more invested in the politics and the community of Richmond than I am in El Cerrito. Because let's be honest, there's nothing happening in El Cerrito. It's just a bedroom town. I didn't even know we had a mayor. I went to like
Cerrito?
one El Cerrito event, and I was like, you know, the mayor was there. I was like, oh, we have a mayor? And then my grandmother's like, don't say that too loud. I mean, you know, I'm like, what's he gonna do? Like, you know,
Yeah.
we own our house. It's cool. Like, don't worry about you.
El Cerrito's Richmond's responsible older sister.
Yeah, for
pretty
sure.
much.
Yeah.
You know, I'm down here in the streets just like, vote so and so,
Yeah,
and we're
it's-
gonna organize an event for the kiddos down the street. I don't live there, but I forget. I
Yeah.
forget all the time that I don't actually live in Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, we're in Pinole. Like
Yeah.
I grew up in Richmond, and I just almost everyone that we've had on the show
Mm-hmm.
so far, it's all people from Richmond, like bands.
Okay.
And it's all. That's why I wanted to
Yeah.
include you in this, because
Yeah,
you're doing something, you know, and it's all in the area. We're gonna have a Richmond City Council member coming on, just because we want to.
okay.
We're doing this in this little ass city. There's a lot of shit going on.
So much. There's
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Yeah.
Like, I think that I don't even know what all that's going on, you know, like, because I've just been seeing like things pop up, or I read articles and it's somebody from Richmond, and I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing, you know. And I think that, you know, what you're doing is great, because it gives people a platform. You know, you're building your own platform, but it's also giving people a platform, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because there's so much talent in Richmond, doesn't matter with what, but there's so much that needs to get out there. And Richmond, you know, unfortunately, I feel like sometimes people are waiting, or, you know, just like that new, it's getting gentrified, but, you know, just like that new apartment building in Richmond, I heard some people saying, oh, I can't wait for Richmond to get better, or I can't wait for Richmond to be like more fun. But
Are you talking about the one on by San Marcos?
no, by Nevin.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nevin and like McDonald's.
Okay.
And so they're building these big like apartment complexes like in the middle, right by McDonald's. You know where?
Yeah. I know,
Yeah.
And yeah, so I had some people like comment on that, and to me it's just like, Richmond's already good. It's just, it needs to be, and it's to show the talent that people have here, you know, like people need, I'm sure that just like us, there's people that are cooking that could or want a restaurant but don't have the funds or the platform to just go ahead and do it, or don't know how to do the social
Or the
media
hustle.
or the yeah, that's true.
You know, it's like, why should Oakland have all the fun? And you know, the reason why I compare Richmond to Oakland is like, you know, a lot of people talk about the violence in Richmond, the after effects of the drug trade in Richmond.
Yeah.
And just a few years ago, Oakland was equally discussed. But you know, Oakland has a really good PR situation because they're constantly thriving when it comes to their arts, their culture, their
Yep.
food. They have a burgoying like culinary renaissance that occurred a few years ago, and Richmond's slowly kind of building toward that.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to see the good outshine all the negatives, to the point to where
Yeah.
the negatives just get absorbed in the good. You know,
Yeah.
like that's what I really want for the city. So when people say I wanted to get better, you know what I mean? They don't realize what's currently going on and what's currently building. But I mean,
Yeah.
but don't get it twisted. They're like the other city. There are problems. Even San Francisco has problems. There's certain neighborhoods in San Francisco you don't want to go into.
Yeah.
You know?
the Warriors are leaving, the left, the Raiders are leaving. We need your tacos, dog.
I know.
So it sounds like, man, you have big plans for your business, like beyond the food.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
You sound like a future politician. Well,
I mean, you were just saying you don't do things for very long. It sounds like you're on a trajectory upward. I mean, could you see yourself getting involved in local politics,
or just something something else? Because it sounds like you. Just
I don't know.
Limits.
You know, I have right now. I'm actually tattooing, so that's what I'm. That's what I'm going into.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so let me shout myself. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, what?
No, so I'm starting to tattoo. That's always something I've always wanted to do. That's what I've really wanted to do. So I started tattooing. I've tattooed probably like 10 people, nothing too big. But that's what I would want to eventually get to. But El Garage, at the same time, it's giving me the time, and it's giving me, I don't have to worry about working at a job. I worry about working for this, which is like my kid. And so it gives me the time to be able to work on my other skills, you know. It gives me the time to, yeah.
That's why you're glowing right now. Like I'm
just doing everything I can, you know. I'm doing everything. I have this list of stuff that I want to get to do. And, you know, I'm sure everybody has a list of stuff they want to get to do. And I feel like on the way to my bigger goal of just doing something, I'm just getting everything done, you know, just crossing everything off the list and doing it while I can. And I don't know what my actual goal is to
just having
even
fun.
do. I'm just living.
that's
having
dope,
fun,
dude.
yeah,
that's inspiring. Was there a point when before you started all this where you just like had those in your head, like, oh, I want to do that one day? And then how did you break out of that? Because that's the thing. I mean, I still suffer with today.
Yeah.
You know, even though I am involved with some stuff that I like to do, I'm still in that playing it safe with a job kind of a thing where I'm not. Yeah. I know I know what it is that I could do to make it so that I cross over to that full time thing. But you know, when you need that security blanket of paychecks to.
Yeah, it's hard. I think it's hard. Because life is going, you know, you can say this and that, but life keeps going. You still owe those bills. Rent's still due. But that's where you have to make the decision, you know. I feel like that's where me and my sister were kind of at. Like, fuck. What if I can't pay rent, or what if I can't pay my bills, you know? But I think that's where you kind of have to let go, and then you just become uncomfortable. You become so uncomfortable, but that's when the hustle comes in. Are you gonna just stay there and not do anything, you know, or are you gonna come up with different ways of I remember when I didn't have a job, I loved thrifting, and so I couldn't thrift no more because I didn't have money to go out and thrift. But I was finding stuff like, for instance, one day I went into the thrift store and found some shoes, because at that time I wasn't working, and it was some $20 brand new Prada shoes. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell this. So it's just different stuff that you can look up not that, but there's so many things that you can do sometimes that will kind of like push you, you know, like for me, it was that, like, I was pushed to even like just resell. You just find so many other different things that you can do, you know. For me, selling my art, something I never did. I just draw. I love drawing realistic portraits. So I was doing that, and I was selling those, you know. I was just like, you know what, let me do that in the meantime. But I think as far as like deciding whether, if you're at a job that you don't want to possibly do your whole life, then that's something you should rethink, you know. I think not you specifically, but talking in general, you know.
Oh, anyone, thank God, I felt like singled out right now.
No, but like in general, like if you're at a job sometimes where you just, you know, you're just kind of there, and it's just a thing of the daily and the daily and the daily. I just feel like I stopped that after I stopped working at the bank. So you know how you told me you saw me at the bank? So I stopped that after working at the bank. I'm like, you know what? I want to stop these 9-to-5s, because it's just not me. It is for some people. Some people like having order in their lives, but me, I just like
spontaneity.
Spontaneity. And I'm doing the tattooing right now, and I have plans for that. Well, El Garage is still my plan right now, but my main plan is to just become huge with tattooing and be able to travel the world doing it, you know.
I had no idea you were into art. Like you said, you sell some of your art already. You've sold some.
I've sold some of my art. Yeah.
What do you keep that private? Because I don't see that you post about that, or I've never seen anything you mentioned. I
do. I want to put it out there, but I honestly have a bit of anxiety, you know, like social anxiety of putting my stuff out there, because I feel like it's not good enough. but people have seen it that are in the art world that I never, I've been drawing. Once I was drawing on Bart, and some lady saw me and she was like, "Oh, your stuff is really good." Then I went once to a bar and I saw this guy. Turns out he was like an artist, gave me his supplies and put me in an art show in San Francisco that I didn't even like expect.
What was his name? If you don't mind me asking, was his name Fabian?
Yes, yeah, Fabian.
I remember seeing your name on his show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I met this guy at the bar.
Yeah.
And he was just like that. They had stolen my stuff, so I had gotten beaten up and my stuff stolen like 2 days before that.
Got beat up?
Whoa, it was horrible. Right outside of CCC. They beat me up with a gun and took all of my stuff. So they had taken all of my art stuff, and Fabian just gave me all of what he had with him, Wow. Yeah.
That's scary. Jesus.
Oh gosh, yeah. That was very scary.
Shout out to Fabian. Yeah, I know him from his brother. We used to work at Little Caesars.
Oh, okay.
He disappeared, and then I saw that he's an artist now, and he's really into.
He's really into it, and it's so cool to see him too, because like now his art is in the community. Have you seen that? Like, that's amazing.
No, where would I find his art? Because I actually want to have him do this too.
Oh yeah. So I know that when I first met him, he had like shown me some of his like drawings, and I knew that when he held that art show and that I was in it, he was already starting to do tattooing, and he was just kind of doing pieces, but then I saw that he actually started doing murals in Richmond. So now do you guys know Filiberger, right?
Yeah.
Right in front of Filiberger is that like like a place. He painted it all.
Place.
Yes. No. The Pepitos. Where Pepitos used to be. Right, that restaurant in front by the car wash. Yeah, he did all of that, and I know his style because I used to really like his style. It's kind of just, I don't know how you would call it, but it's really cool. And I've seen more around Richmond, which I think is amazing that he's already grown, that he's doing it and putting it on the city, around the city.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was out. I mean, I know I've seen he has his art shows. We just had him on here, so you're the second artist to come on.
Awesome.
Have you ever talked about your art?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. I've actually also, I've never shared with people or on social media, like that.
Because I've never seen it.
I've won awards with my art as well. Like I've posted my art on like different art shows, and they've won. But it's just never been a thing. I think it's just that's an insecurity that like I don't want to put my art out there, but I would love to tattoo on people. Yeah. And I think that's a way that I could put my art out there. Okay. And that's what I want to do, Like I love drawing on pencil and paper, but right now I'm really interested in doing it and actually having it on people, Have like my specific art. Like I don't want people to come with something and tell me, hey, do this. I want to do my pieces, and then people telling me I want that one,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's, it it can be very, well, this because he's a musician, he's a rapper.
Oh, okay, cool.
And whenever you write something that's very personal, if it is personal, like one of my favorite singers had this quote that he said, well, not quote, they asked him before he passed away, like, how did it feel after a show? And a lot of his songs were very personal. Yeah. So he said every day after he finished the show, and he came back after singing a new song or whatever, he's like, oh my God, I can't believe I shared that with people.
No, because it's like sharing a part of your soul.
Yeah. And you're afraid of someone saying bad things about it.
That's exactly how I described it to somebody. I'm like, it's hard for me. Like I want to do a separate Instagram where no one knows me, and whoever follows me is only because they like my art.
Like Banksy?
Yeah. Because that's how I feel. I feel like I'm sharing a part of my soul. Like it's so deep that I'm sharing like a part of like who I am, and I only want people that actually like it to see it, Do
you have pictures on your phone? Not right. We can show us.
Yeah. I'll show you later. Okay. I have some pictures. Yeah.
Dude, so we started with the food in the restaurant, and like we found out, like, I mean, man, I'm sure when this comes out, people are gonna be asking.
When?
To see the art. So did some of your friends don't know like about it, like that?
No, I think only my closest friends know. And now that you're bringing it up, I'm just kind of like, why don't people know? Yeah. No.
It's like a weird thing you do at home when you're like, you know, those,
kind of a secret. No.
Yeah.
No. People. I just like doing portraits. It's very realistic.
Okay.
And when I put it out there on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. Like I posted up a portrait I was working on, and people messaged me. But it's also, I just felt like it kind of was like people wanted to pay me $20 for a portrait that takes me 30 hours. You know, people wanted to just do stuff like that. That was just kind of like, I'm not gonna post it no more. I'm just doing this for fun on my own. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that you're bringing it up, I think that I'm gonna start posting.
Yeah,
maybe
dude.
Come up with my Instagram profile. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
That's it reminds me of like when I got offered to host someone's wedding. I didn't even know them, and I was like, I can't do that. Like I like doing comedy, but I can't see myself do that. Like it's got to be on your own terms.
Yeah.
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 So now you have the place. Now I can see fucking art shows there, dude.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I for sure want to do. I want to have like an art night or like a fun like community night where people, because you know what, also being in a big thing for me was also being in art. Like sometimes it doesn't get taken seriously, and that's why I didn't go and pursue it super serious, because it doesn't get taken seriously.
It's like a hobby.
It's like a hobby, you know, like, oh, what you're like, I don't know, that's how I felt, right? But I also want to give those people the platform and the space for people to just put it out there, you know, not have to wait that, like, I remember going to different coffee shops wanting to put my art up there, and it was like the wait list was like 2 years. Wow. Like maybe 13-14 months each time. And with over here, I wanted to be like to have a whole huge space for every, like, the artists in Richmond to post up their stuff, you know, for people to actually see them. But I want that's what I want for El Garage, to be somewhere where it's a platform also for people, you know, because I want El Garage to be big for people to come from all over these places, but to notice people from Richmond, you know, like if we had the art or, you know, comedy show or this band come in, I want El Garage, because El Garage already is known by people from outside, you know, from all over the Bay Area, and all these like reporters, and it's getting a lot of attention that we don't want to take all this attention. We want to have people like all this attention coming to us, but pay it back, you know, like have all these artists, and maybe an artist is found there, you know, maybe
you could have went to SF or Oakland with all the publicity you're getting.
Exactly. We had this person come to us. He wanted to franchise already. He wanted to make us one here in Richmond, one in SF, and possibly one in Vegas.
Wow.
And yeah, but
that was the devil. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that was God.
I'm kidding. Well,
it's crazy. But he was like, no more El Garage. We have to erase El Garage.
Yeah, that was the devil.
Yeah, it's not going to be named El Garage. And we're going to have these kind of food, but he just kind of wanted to take over everything, you know? Yeah. He was not going to be named El Garage. We were going to give him, he wanted the recipe of, basically sell him our idea. Yeah. Sell him our idea, and we were just going to be partners, and he was just going to franchise us, but then it wasn't going to be us, you know what I mean? No. It wasn't going to be us. So we were like, no. And there he goes, called the health department on us as well. Like,
that,
you know,
petty
yes.
That petty, yo, if you're listening to this, whoever you are,
fuck you.
Yeah. For real, no.
Yeah. You want, son.
Give me his info.
Give me his name.
And I will
put it on the podcast.
Roast his ass.
We will have our supporters find him.
Fuck you up, bro.
Ruthless vengeance upon ye.
I know.
Suck several dicks.
That's some bullshit, dog.
Yes.
Easy there.
After we told him, oh no, he kept insisting. He went to the house, was scaring my mom, like,
what the?
Let's do it. And we were just like, no, you know, after we cut ties, we said, no, like, no, we're not answering your phone calls. We're not doing this. And he called the health department, but we haven't seen him since then. But it's just been like, you know, obstacles. But we wanted to stay in Richmond because that's where we're from. That's the place and the spot that we kind of wanted for Richmond. That's the kind of community spot we wanted for Richmond, you know? So it's also amazing that we found this huge space in front of BART. Of BART. Like, it's right there, going to be in downtown. It's 5 minutes away from my mom's home. It's so close. It's so perfect, you know? Everybody can go there.
I'm super happy for you.
I am too. I'm happy you guys got rid of
So
that
much.
that villain with the Disney level of pettiness.
Fuck yeah.
I know.
So
That was
feels
petty.
like
That
was
was-
like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you won't marry me? I'm going to lock your father up and say that he's crazy. Then, like, what?
Yeah.
All she said was no, dude. You got every.
Chill. I know.
Wow. Well, everything worked out for you though. It
Yeah.
seems like.
Yes, but that's the way you're supposed to look at it.
Yeah.
You know, because once he knocked us down, I remember that people were like, "Oh, you guys are not going to sell no more?" And we're like, "Yes, we are. We're going to find a
Yes.
different location, you know, and do it." And I think that that's where your like resilience has to come through. That when you get knocked down, no, keep doing it.
doing
Keep
it.
doing it, because if you believe in it, it'll get done, you know?
I don't think it gets
Yeah.
better than that, man.
No.
Where can we follow you? On social media, how can people get in contact with you until you open the restaurant?
So you can follow us at El Garage, EL_GAAARAGE, and then
Which is
Facebook.
Spanish for the garage.
Or Spanish for the garage, yeah. Because we started from our garage.
Bilingual, guys. I had to throw that in there.
I kind of figured that was Spanish for the garage. My
And-
2 years of high school Spanish have served me well.
To figure out what L means. And Facebook, I believe we're under El Garage Tacos.
The garage tacos.
Yeah.
And the restaurant will be coming
Late January
Late
of next
January
year.
of next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Well, we got to make a trip out there
Yeah,
and,
yeah, we
and
do.
bring the cameras so
well,
we can
and-
do a film review.
For
of,
sure.
Well, you know, we run this podcast like usually the second Sunday of each month.
Uh-huh.
We might just make a special, like, what was it? It's late January, so I'm guessing probably be like the third Sunday. We get together and do like a special thing that month. That'd be cool. Just come down and yeah.
That'd be cool.
Have our lunch break over there. Make it a lunch break / podcast recording
Yeah.
opportunity. Wait a minute. Wait. Record an episode of the
I'm
podcast
just-
in your restaurant. Huh?
That might be possible because there is a party. So we have the restaurant, and then we actually have an event room, which that's something else. We have an event room where if you wanted to do, I was thinking of that because when I used to do podcasts with my friends, I used to travel to San Jose to be the guest over there, and we used to have and rent a little event space. We used to rent like a little room so it could be quiet. And in the restaurant, there is this like room for like an event space, it's not included in the restaurant. It's just kind of on the side and it's closed up, and it's so cool that I was thinking of doing that, you know, like having podcasts be there, like renting it out for little stuff like that, you know, like, or just having it like a space where people can come in and just do their work, or just like a study area during the week, you know,
Yeah.
use it for stuff like that.
And they buy your tacos while you're there. That's perfect.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I look forward to it, and I just want to thank you for coming out because I know you guys are super busy right now.
Yeah, but thank you so much for inviting me.
No,
Yeah.
we're glad.
It's great to have you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's been the show. Thank you for tuning in. We're out.
All right.